Yeah, his whole situation's fucked too, because that guy, like, when you look at what WikiLeaks did, he really got in trouble with it was like the Vault leak that you were telling me about offline. Is that what it was? Or it was like Vault 7 or something like that, where he really got in trouble?
Yeah, Bolt 7. Yeah, I think.
That was like the biggest thing. That's where, like, that was kind of the impetus for the government really fucking coming after him, right? Because that was all stuff that got leaked that the government was doing that they weren't supposed to be fucking doing. That was like actually putting the lives of Americans and just civilians in danger. So that was a big problem that he leaked. But the whole thing with him is that he's not really the whistleblower in these situations. He's just sort of like the publisher of information. So the people who are the actual whistleblowers, like Snowden and Manning, and a few of these other people, like those are legitimate whistleblowers. He's almost just like an aggregator. Like these people, they could have posted shit on Twitter or Facebook, right, or leaked it on there. And do you hold Facebook or Twitter accountable for allowing people to post shit on there? No. So it's
Well, I
kind of like
mean,
you could make the same argument with Assange a little bit, because the whole thing was like he wasn't really doing the legwork. Like he didn't hack into anything. He didn't get a hold of like a lot of these documents by like going directly to the government, but it was like people were kind of giving shit to him that they took, and then he was just reposting it. So he was really just like an aggregator for like the leaked documents, and then that's why they went after him.
yeah, that's a good tangential point there. But if he was on Facebook or Twitter and such, they could have just easily taken it down. That's why they don't. That's why they wouldn't. They care about this guy and they want to get rid of him is because they didn't have the power to take it down. They didn't have control like they do with
Of
Facebook and
course.
Twitter.
But my juxtaposition is that I bring up Facebook and Twitter in a sense that if these people posted, if Snowden posted all the leaks about the PRISM program and all these other programs that were being done, and if he posted them to Facebook and Facebook didn't take them down, would the government go after Facebook? And do they have a right to go after Facebook, even though the guy is using that as the platform and they're really not responsible for like what he put up?
No, I don't think he should be responsible for. He's a journalist. He should be reporting on everything and putting. If he gets the evidence, he should be reporting on it.
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's the whole thing, is like he's just an aggregator. There are like plenty of news sites that people go on. Some of it is like not really mainstream news, and it'll mostly just be like an aggregation of like what journalists put up. Like that's what a news publisher does, and that's what a lot of like grassroots campaigns do. And they'll repost articles from different authors that are like not really affiliated with them, but like they know that that person's very credible, so then they'll repost the article. So that's really what Assange was doing, is just reposting shit. It's like he built a platform where he couldn't be censored, and it's like he's just retweeting shit that other people are doing, and then that's it. It's not like he's actually engaging in illegal acts. He's just reposting things that were like illegal or illegally obtained, I should say.
Yeah, that's quite the circumlocution circumlocution there. But um, what do you think about, like, if you look at Julian Assange, right? Do you think he or Snowden is more guilty in the situation? And if so, or neither, which one would you put as more guilty?
Like, do you hear anything in the background coming from my mic or no?
No.
Okay, all right, cool. I would say that Snowden is more guilty, and the reason being is that he actually mishandled like classified information that he leaked out to the public. So there were things that the government, even though like he leaked the prison program and a bunch of other things, the problem is that he actually mishandled some of the information, and he didn't redact certain information that put people at risk that actually work for like the CIA and the NSA. So even though those people were doing things that they weren't supposed to be doing, their personal information shouldn't have been at risk. Like he should have had like the mental wherewithal to be able to like strike their names from the documents and to be able to strike information out from these documents that is impertinent to what the general public at large should know. So yeah, I would say that Snowden is more guilty.
Nah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like Assange was given dozens of documents, but he only posted. If you actually went on WikiLeaks and you look at like their postings and how many different ones that they had, he only had like 10 real like postings and like official leaks. But obviously there are hundreds of emails, thousands of documents that fall within each of these like 8 or 10 leaks. But the whole thing is that he was given a lot more information, but he only reposted things that he felt were like pertinent for the general public to know and not so much, anything else. So like his whole thing is like if he posted about the prison program or whatever, he would only post shit that was like pertinent to that. But in Snowden's case, like when he went to go leak some documents, it got kind of weird because he leaked it to Glenn Greenwald, who's a reporter and who's a mainstream reporter for The Guardian. And the whole thing with Glenn Greenwald is like obviously he doesn't have security clearance and he's not in the know enough to kind of figure out what to redact and what not to. He's just a publisher of information. So he's not really like briefed on what needs to be stricken from these documents and what shouldn't. So
yeah, I think so you got Assange, you got Snowden. I think basically I think Snowden would be umbraged at your remarks there that he's more guilty than Assange.
yeah, and then the whole thing is that Russia granted him asylum, so we really don't know if he actually handed over any information to the Russians in exchange for asylum. I mean, it's not like Russia's just protecting him out of the kindness of their heart. I mean, I really wouldn't think that's the case, right?
Yeah, why not? I mean, they wouldn't want to hand somebody over to the Americans. That's simple as that. They don't want to hand somebody over.